We just saw the press conference revealing details about the shooter of Charlie Kirk, and we have the details. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. I'm here with It's Kim, Louis Lecca, Nerd Report, and you can watch the press conference. It's all over, but I thought it'd be better to give you a quick recap and some other reveals that came out at the end of it to give you more of a summary of what was said. Overall, informative press conference, an emotional press conference. The governor of Utah definitely said some things. At times, it felt a little bit like a sermon, if I'm being honest. He definitely was not afraid to share some of his feelings, and some of it was good. A little bit, some of it felt a lot too much, but he really was blaming social media for a lot of this, saying "go touch grass," which I wholeheartedly agree. But the details that came in were that the shooter is Tyler Robinson. Now, the details that were revealed at this press conference actually weren't as much as what Trump had previously revealed, which was that it was a pastor.
I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him, you know, they said, whoa. It's interesting where we had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And
so the minister, apparently, that was this friend who basically brought it to the family, which they didn't get as much into detail of, but did confirm, yes, the father ultimately turned his son in, which is kind of amazing. That's not always the case. More and more photos are coming in of Tyler. Not a lot of it as motivation. We're still sort of waiting for more of those details, but we are getting more photos and more, including of the family. That is just heartbreaking to see. I mean, I'm not trying to justify anything, but I know he's a 22-year-old man. He's an adult. He's made his own choices, but it's still, as an older myself, it breaks my heart to see someone this young get this lost and to cause such senseless violence. It's awful all around the board. What caused him to do this? We don't know. Clearly, he was not a fan of Charlie Kirk's. They did reveal that there were previous conversations over dinner where he said Kirk was hateful and he didn't like him. There was that reveal, which brought some of the motivation, most likely. The governor also did confirm this was politically motivated. That still is the case. But we don't know fully his ideologies and his political backings. I mean, clearly not the same as Charlie's. Here was him with a zombie Trump Halloween costume at one point, and other things that came in. But this is his father, a 27-year-old, 27-year veteran of the Washington County Sheriff's Department. Yeah, that's crazy. He was a 27-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department. So this guy knows right from wrong, you'd think, and got his son, took him in. There's the mother, works for Intermountain Support Coordination Services that helps people with disabled receive care. I mean, this is not what you'd expect, right? This is not the person you would think would be doing this. So let's not jump to conclusions. I praise this family for doing the toughest thing of bringing him in so we can get justice, because he might get the unalive penalty. This is not going to be easy for them, but they did the right thing. They brought him in, they got him there through marshals, and now he's in custody. And that was the details that we got. There was more about Discord servers where there was apparently a roommate that this guy was messaging, trying to get him to pick up this weapon that he left in a towel in the woods. But the FBI saw the messages and obviously, thank God he didn't go get that weapon, as Lewis pointed out. That could have been real bad for him. But on the weapons, with the little silver things that are in them, I got to be careful, the pew pew shells. There were some inscriptions. Now, previously there had been word of it was anti-fascist, anti-trans rhetoric. Well, yes, there was anti-fascist language, but not trans. People sort of assumed that's what this meant. Notices, bulges, oh, owo, what's this? Now, I didn't know what this was either. We had to go Google it, but if you know your meme, this is actually a copy pasta parody of furries, an online role play used as a method of trolling. So not connected to the trans community at all. This is a known reference that was out there. And I guess people just assumed because they saw bulges. And then it's frustrating because Megyn Kelly and the likes immediately use this to charge a base and say, oh, we got to stop the trans. That's not what this was about. The other casings also said, hey, fascist catch. Obviously, that's not okay. And yes, clearly anti-fascist, followed by up arrow, right arrow, and 3 down arrows. Bellasio, more memes. And then if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. Another troll. Again, this feels very 4chan to me. Very trollery, which honestly, 4chan's filled with both parties. Lots of independents and lots of progressive and just lots of crazy, if I'm being honest. But that's the details that we got from this. I'm kind of surprised. Based on last night, Kim, it seemed like we weren't going to get anything. It seemed like they didn't have anything, but apparently around 10 p.m. they did get this guy, which I'm glad they did. What are your thoughts? What do you think of this person? Are you surprised?
I am surprised at some of the details. I'm just really happy today with the press conference that we had some things cleared up. There's been a lot of theories and people speculating over the past couple of days, which I mean happens in these situations, but it's good to be able to have a face, to have a name, especially for other people that it was circulating names of people saying, we think it's this person, we think it's this person. Now, I hope that we can all move forward and not harass people, especially this family, because it breaks my heart what they have had to go through now. And I'm sure we'll know more in the next few days about everything that happened here. But it's good to see that we have answers, because I was nervous last night after the press conference that was put out, because it did sound like they were really, really asking for the public's help. And clearly people in the public that saw something, they said something, and here we are. So that's a good thing.
Lewis, what are your reactions to this? What do you think?
Well, man, to build off that, it seems like they didn't know anything until the dad, someone actually told the dad, and then the dad decided to turn him in. Other than that, we would have still been in the middle of a manhunt, accusing the wrong person on the internet, going viral, post the picture of your favorite person you hate and accuse them. It's very bad. I think one important thing, you could end someone by ending their reputation. It's just as bad. And I think the message here on this video, the most important thing I could say is, folks, stop sharing stuff until you know the facts. Like, you're sharing stuff like it's factual. I'm proud of the Popcorn Planet people here, everyone on the panel and the chat, mostly waited till the facts came out, then reported the things, instead of going for the views. But come on, really? I mean, that's there
was a lot of assumptions happening out there. Everyone was being quick to point which facts. Group, and I'll say it, even the president, I don't think the first half of his speech was great, and then he had to turn it political, and that frustrated me. He's got to remember half of his country doesn't agree with that, and doesn't mean they wanted him dead. And I think we saw a lot of liberal left people setting, really kind words and support. So that was the thing I want to end on, of just the fact that it was the governor who got very emotional at a certain point, was, I think, given kind of a sermon to try to just get people to stop, how people in Utah were finally, of different Democrats, Republicans, trying to meet up to have more conversations. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's what we need more, and less social media. Social media is charging us all to be the worst people in the world. That's what it wants us to do. That's what the people in charge want us to do. They want us fighting rather than actually communicating and teaming up to realize we don't control a lot of this. We don't. The rich and powerful do. And I think it's time we stop fighting each other and use these moments, all of these horrible, senseless moments, to remember violence is never the option. It's not, and it's not one party's fault. Both parties have blown up the rhetoric to degrees that are way too high. And I hope we can take the advice of the governor, who was a friend of Charlie's and Trump's, to remind us all to calm down, to attempt to be better people, to try to reach out those olive branches and have those conversations like Charlie did. Love him or not, he was out there having these difficult conversations with people. We don't all have to agree with what he said, but I think that type of conversation is more important now than ever. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell for all alerts. Smash that thumbs up as well and leave your comments. Helps the engagement. We will keep you posted on this story as more develops, so stay tuned. Subscribe to It's Kim and Lewis Lecca over at Nerd Report, who's live right now as well, and stay tuned for more updates.